Welcome everyone to the Things Around 8. In this video we will talk about the expansion of the Russian attack on the Kharkiv front and how the Ukrainian authorities are facing this serious threat to that important sector of the combat front. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any news. This Monday, May 13th, a Ukrainian commander revealed in a report for CNN that the situation north of Kharkiv was worsening significantly. A statement made just hours after Russia reported that it had expanded its operations along the border, forcing the evacuation of thousands of people close to areas of active combat. And also this Monday, David Cameron, the United Kingdom's Foreign Secretary, acknowledged that what is happening in Kharkiv represents an extremely dangerous moment for Kyiv, saying that, in practice, Russia has effectively invaded Ukraine for a second time. Due to the fog of war, which is that lack of clarity where uncertainty prevails about the adversary's capabilities and plans while the fighting is taking place, it is not possible to determine exactly the size of the Russian force launched against Kharkiv. But it is quite evident from the statements of commanders operating in the area that it is a considerable force, with various sources estimating the number of soldiers in this new Russian invasion force between 30 and 40,000. Kirill Budanov, head of Ukrainian intelligence, also said this Monday that the situation is becoming increasingly critical, also mentioning that Russia's main target in this phase of the new offensive in Kharkiv continues to be the city of Vovoshansk, a small town just 4 kilometers from the Russian border, and which previously of the war it had 17,000 inhabitants. According to Budanov and other sources linked to Ukrainian defense, Russian invasion forces are fighting in the suburbs of Vovoshansk, with some sources reporting that there is already fighting in some neighborhoods further north of the city. And this Tuesday, May 14th, Budanov said, in another statement, that he believes that Russia will further expand its offensive, confirming reports that indicate strong Russian artillery activity to the northwest, in the region of the city of Sumy. This seems to indicate that Russia is preparing to advance in that direction as well, but it is not yet clear whether this advance will occur while the assault against Vovoshansk is still ongoing, or whether Russia intends to first conquer that city, and only then launch a new column of invasion against Sumy. The attacks launched by Russia targeting Vovoshansk, the city of Kharkiv, and possibly in the short term also Sumy, correspond almost exactly to the same path that the Russian invasion forces took when they invaded Ukraine on February 24, 2022. At that moment, Russian forces advanced much faster, because they counted on the surprise factor. But even so, they were unable to conquer any of their main objectives, which were the cities of Sumy and Kharkiv. In the attack that is taking place now, it is still not clear what Russia's objective is, with 3 open hypotheses. The first would be a new Russian attempt to conquer the important city of Kharkiv, the second largest in Ukraine, and the main defense industrial hub, the place where most of Ukrainian weapons, vehicles and ammunition are produced. The second hypothesis would be the creation of a 10-kilometer buffer zone along the border, between the Ukrainian Kharkiv Oblast and the Russian Belgorod Oblast, to prevent Ukraine from carrying out incursions into the Russian border regions. And finally, the third hypothesis would be a simple Russian diversionary maneuver, just with the aim of forcing Ukraine to withdraw some of its forces that are now trying to block the Russian Indonesian advance. But amid so much uncertainty, there is something that is immediately clear. Putin launched this attack now, aiming to take advantage of the fact that U.S. military aid has not yet reached Ukraine. After 6 months of delays, the $60.8 billion package was only approved by the United States Congress at the end of April, which means that the weapons and ammunition, despite having already started to be dispatched, will only actually arrive in Ukraine at the end of May. Therefore, this is the ideal time for Putin to launch an offensive. Taking advantage of the fact that the Ukrainians still have very low stocks of weapons and ammunition, the situation in the Kharkiv sector is increasingly serious for Ukraine. And this is today's video. Thank you very much for watching the video. And now I invite you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we'll see you more often, and so you'll be up to date with everything that's happening.